Let's start with special teams because we never get to talk about special teams, but you get a punt block to start the entire day, and that just set the day in the right direction.
It really did. Pat O'Connor just did a heck of a job one-on-one of getting in there, did a good clean block, and then go recovering it and set us up for our first touchdown. So, yeah, that was a great thing by Pat O'Connor. We gave him a game ball in the locker room after the game.
One of the other players that stood out to me, Vita Vea made a sack, and on a day when you guys really got to the quarterback, and something you had said during the training camp, listen, we'd like to see Vita become more of a pass rusher, and I know there's matchup issues in every game for him. However, he was able to get some pressure and get to the quarterback. How good was that to see?
Yeah, it was really good. He got the sack. He had two more really good pressures where just really forced the quarterback knows when Vita's coming up the middle, and he walked that center back into him a couple of times and really disrupted him and got him off his spot.
I know Chris Godwin ended up leaving this game later, but to kind of have the receiving core intact in another week of repetitions and preparation, how was the offense, in your opinion, working from an efficiency standpoint?
Other than the penalties, I thought we played really solid, very clean game. No turnovers, very, very few, if any, mental errors. We just had those holding penalties that cost us almost every drive in the third quarter, and we got to eliminate those.
It's the second game in a row you guys have gotten out to a lead. Even with the errors that you mentioned, they never really closed the gap. What went right in the second half as far as getting drives, eating up clock, keeping your defense off the field? What went right for you guys to maintain that difference?
Yeah, I thought Tom did a heck of. They played really, really well, and they were going to double cover Mike and Chris some, but Mike the whole ball game, and just finding his tight ends, finding his backs, and moving the chains. I thought our running game was solid at times. We didn't run it a lot in that ball game. But I thought at the end of the ball game, Rojo really ran well. And I thought Chris made some great plays. Mike 2 for 2 for 2. So that's a hell of a stat line. 2 catches, 2 yards, 2 touchdowns. So he finally got single covered and Tom used him. So it was one of those type of days. We left a lot out there still, and we're still growing as an offense.
After days of asking, oh, well, what's Rob Gronkowski's role in this offense? He now gets some catches and some real open looks, and OJ as well. So what did the tight ends have in the matchup that allowed them to become a bigger part of the passing attack?
Well, the majority of the game was split safeties, and they were double covering Mike whatever side he was on. So that opens up the whole middle of the field. So the tight ends did a heck of a job and getting open, Tom delivering the ball, and they did a good job running after the catch. OJ made a spectacular catch down the sideline, and it's always good to take the receiving yards and not the penalty. So he made the great one-handed catch, and those guys, if they want to play us that way, they've got to win inside.
Last week we saw really a resurgence of the running game. We've seen Tom Brady's efficiency. Now the tight ends are able to get involved. Have you seen enough now that when you're game planning, no matter what is thrown at you, you feel like you guys can respond?
Yeah, I think we know that now. It's just we're still getting enough repetitions in all the phases. I wouldn't say we're jogging. I think we're still crawling because we're still leaving plays out there. But we see them, and I think we'll get them. We'll start making more and more of them. We're scoring enough points early in ball games to get leads and staying with them.
We talked about Vita Vea, but what Todd Bowles has put together and the way they're scheming against opponents, really 3 consecutive weeks now. What can you say about this group collectively?
Yeah, this team was built on defense, and that when we went into the offseason, we wanted to keep this defense together because we were playing really, really well down the stretch last year, and we haven't missed a beat. Todd's done a great job of mixing it up. You don't know really who's coming, outside backers, inside backers, safeties, corners, just doing a really good job of pressuring the quarterback and playing man-to-man zone, mixing man-to-man zone coverages. But it all starts with stopping the run.